Welcome back to Wide Gaming. Today we are back with some more Generation Zero. And what we're going to talk about is some of the things that we should hopefully see in 2023. The past few years have been brilliant for this game. There's been many ups and many downs. 2021 was a big year of letdowns, and 2022, the start was relatively slow, but we got there in the end, with a hell of a load of updates and some awesome new content to boot. Hopefully, 2023 is much better, and we're continuing right off the back of 22. I'm very excited to see what the year holds for the team. Hopefully, Ravenbound, their new game that Systemic Reaction is working on, hasn't pulled too many resources away from Generation Zero. We shall see. There's plenty of things that the community would love to see that have wanted to see since the start of the game and over the last few years. Some things have been introduced, others have not, and have fallen on deaf ears. Hopefully some of those requests that have fallen on deaf ears come to the game in 2023. Whether or not this is the last year of Generation Zero's continuous updates, or not, is yet to be seen. I have a feeling it could well be towards the last year, if not next year, maybe the last. There's only so long that they're going to keep the game updated and adding new content. From a business and financial standpoint, it doesn't make sense to keep going, especially if, you can't bleed it dry like some games. GTA. But there is still a die-hard community for Generation Zero, so hopefully that keeps the game alive for at least another year, potentially even 2 or 3. Now, some things that the community have been crying for, mainly little things, are definitely new missions. Now, we do need some more new missions. Not even main missions, just a whole new side branch of missions would be great. Something just to keep us ticking over, something to play, and ways that we can earn ammo and XP, especially with the XP system being massively overhauled, and now we can continue playing to a ridiculous level. I'm pretty sure it's either 10,000 or 1,000, one of the two, but either way, it is pretty damn high. And with that, obviously we need new ways to get experience. There are loads of ways that they could do it, but something that the community have wanted for so long is new missions. Be that story-based missions where we go out and meet new characters, or just general missions where we wander around, pick off machines and do little bits like that. Whether or not something like that will come is yet to be seen. I do have a feeling that they will do it. With each update, they've added either a mission or two, or some little bits here and there. Now, we do have quite a few missions, and obviously the New Game Plus is a great way to replay those older missions and start the game with a whole fresh feel, or just replay those missions with the same old character, which is a brilliant way to continue the longevity of the game and enhance the replayability. And branching off of new content in the form of missions and things that we could do is not exactly the assignments, but the little missions and tasks that we have. They were introduced back in, I think it was either towards the end of 2020 or the start of 2021. But you go out, you do your missions, and you can unlock little bits for them. It's basically the prestige point system that we have. Now, still, those prestige points don't have a use. They're just there for bragging rights alongside the names that you get with completing these objectives. But I think a whole new set of those to go in line with the Russian machines and some of the new areas that we've got in the game. Especially considering a lot of the map has had a massive revamp. We've had base building and base assault since the release of those quests. So having a new branch just for all of the newer items is definitely something that you could sink your teeth into for a fair few hours. Even if it's just raid a certain amount of bases, or raid this base at this location when it's at this level. Or defend from this base for X amount of time. Finish it in a certain amount of time. Something along those lines I think would be really cool, and once again is going to add a little bit more replayability. I know myself, I'm a bit of an achievement nut, so I definitely sunk a fair few hours into those tasks. Now with that as well are assignments. The assignments are great when they work. There's obviously quite a few issues with them, and they are getting a hell of a lot better than what they were when they were introduced. But when they were introduced, there was a plan to bring community assignments too. Community assignments, I think, are something that we really need, and it will definitely increase the player count because you'll have friends working together, old players that could come back into the game to work with their friends that are still playing it, to get that community goal, that unified objective of destroy, let's say, 1 million tanks in 1 week. as a community. I think that would be really, really awesome. And like I say, they are community goals. They're going to bring the community together. The Discord will be popping for players wanting to play together to do these objectives. And going into 2023, I think working on the community aspect and getting people playing together would be a brilliant way to enhance the lifespan of Generation Zero. And for the last point when it comes to gameplay, I definitely think that top island, or any island for that matter, needs working on. See, something that makes me think that this could potentially be towards the end of Generation Zero's life cycle is somebody did ask if they were planning on adding a new island. And one of the guys commented and said that there's nothing on the books yet. So it's a shame because that island is a gold mine. I know it's that simple phrase of you build it and they will come. The biggest island of the 3 remaining ones that they've got to expand upon would be an absolutely insane DLC. If they did that, they could add in everything that we've talked about into one single update. All the extras, so the assignments, the little side objectives that we've got, could all come for free. And then alongside that, obviously a paid DLC. People will have said about the island coming out before, and why would they add it as a paid DLC? It's perfect sense, you know. Why would you give away a product that people really, really want for free? And obviously, as a business, they need to make money. So that island, I think, is easily a $20, even $30 or pound, wherever you are, DLC, without a doubt. They could add so much new content on there. It is bigger than the biggest region in Osterton. And that's, I think, the farmlands is the biggest one. But it is bigger than that. So you've got a hell of a load of content and a hell of a load of new areas to explore crammed into one island, which is definitely going to bring a whole host of old players back in to have a little bit of a look at that. Another thing that I really think that they should do with gameplay is they have sort of swayed a little bit away from it, but remove as much of a need for that grindy aspect. Going out there and killing machines to get, you know, obviously experimentals and stuff like that, I can understand because you've got to grind to get those. They are high-end, they're high-end gear, you've got to work for them. So I do kind of get that. But when it comes to base assaults, things like that, I think, you know, being able to just set them up yourself, or just having a limit and then being open as and when, I think would be a better way, rather than going off the region score. Almost everything that we've got, almost every activity that we have is on that region score. And for me personally, that is one of the biggest things that I hate about the game. Everything else, absolutely love and can get over it. But the region score system, everything being locked behind that, absolutely cannot stand it. So, you know, sort of swaying a little bit away from that would be quite beneficial, and just reduce that grind that people have to go through to do something as simple as fight a Reaper or get a base assault. I mean, with the Reaper, I understand why they did it, but I think it would be cool to sort of switch that up a little bit now. The Reaper's been out for a very long time. It's old news, and a lot of people could deal with it pretty damn well. So, not exactly having roaming Reapers, but potentially just, you know, having the option to turn one on in a region and then go out and find it would be quite cool. Now, stuff that's not really gameplay, but stuff that could be done by the team, and something that has been cried out for at least 2 years is a 60 FPS update on consoles. I think it's PlayStation, and basically optimization and bringing it up to next gen, which I don't think the team is actually planning on doing. But going into 2023, that could definitely bring back a lot of older players and potentially a hell of a load of new ones. If they re-released it as a, you know, a next-gen product, obviously gave people that have already got it for free, they could definitely bring in a whole load of new players. There's a next-gen section on a lot of stores these days, so, you know, popping it in there would be something that a lot of people would see and think, okay, that looks cool. I think it'd just do well as well, because people have been asking for it for so long, and, you know, got to give the people what they want, man. That's what you got to do. Next is crafting rebalancing. Obviously, the Dangerous Experiments update did come with a little bit of a over tweak, shall we say, to the crafting system itself. So them rebalancing that system, I think, would be absolutely brilliant. Not so much to the way it was, because things are now a hell of a lot easier to craft, but maybe just bringing it back a little bit higher, so maybe you get 2 medkits per craft, or you get 50 ammo per craft, rather than the lower amounts that we're currently seeing. They have said that that was not intentional, and they will be looking into it. Whether they do change it or not is yet to be seen. And then finally, something that I personally would like to see from the team is the dev letters. We used to have a dev letter every Friday letting us know about progress in the game. And I think that was a great way to keep in touch with the community and get people excited and raring for the next update. I think bringing that back, possibly, well, obviously not weekly, because I think weekly is a bit too much, but even if it's just one a month, the first Friday of the month, something along those lines, just letting people know what's going on in the office, what the team is working on, and how things are going. I think the community would absolutely love that, and it will build up a hell of a lot of anticipation for future updates. What do you think to everything that I've said in this video? Let me know down in the comments below. I hope I've covered everything that the majority of people would love to see, and if there are things that you'd like to see, let me know down below in the comments. If we do get enough, I could do basically a community one, and then I will give you a shout out in the video. So, you know, drop them down below. For now, though, we are going to wrap that one up there. Hopefully you've enjoyed. If you have, please drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and consider becoming a member. I greatly appreciate it. For now, though, I've been Wired. You've been awesome. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.